Boom! Astra's back with a whole new video with the best guy in the earth. How's it going, guys? So today it's another nice day for another video. So I'm gonna be explaining on how I almost died. It actually happened when I was biking out from school and I was standing up so I can accelerate very fast so I can get home really fast. It's one of my instincts, and my parents be like, don't go fast, don't go fast. I don't know, like it's just what they're saying, but I still did it. So like I was biking so fast. Normally I travel between speeds of like 30 to 60 kilometers an hour. So 2 days ago, it actually happened 2 days ago. So like what happened is that I was trying to pump and trying to accelerate the speed until I actually lose control. I was like standing up basically, and then I was pressing the pedals, putting pressure on it. And then, unfortunately, my right foot missed the pedal, and that's actually what caused me to lose my control. So when that happened, I was like, boom! I was in another angle. So then after that, then I started, you know, things started to get a little turbulent, and then it actually like tipped over, and I smashed so hard on the ground. It was so hard that I'm gonna explain that right now. It was hard pavement. Man, that's actually gonna hurt. That must have hurt. So what happened is that I fell, and then it actually hit directly on my coccyx, or my tailbone, and that's actually one of the bones that I really hate to injure, but it did. And the pain was like so bad, I thought I actually broke it, or I thought like the insides turned to mush. Like that's like literally what I felt, and it was just so painful. Like I wouldn't want to, like, it's just, trust me, just so painful. But then, like, after that, I was like in the floor. I don't know. I was actually like, there was like pavement right adjacent to the grass. So I was like lying down on the grass, and I was also carrying a backpack weighing about 10 pounds. And sometimes, since the weather is starting to get cold, since it's October, I have my jacket usually on top of the handles. So I put it there, and then that probably contributed to actually making me lose control. So I took off my backpack, and I decided to lie down until the pain subsided. Then a few seconds later, two men actually pulled over, hoping that they can actually save me. So I was there, I was on the floor, and once the pain subsided, then the two men were like waiting, and actually I tried to use their assistance to actually make me stand up again. And once I stood up, then I started, hopefully everything's becoming better, but I started feeling something weird. I could feel that my legs started to weaken. And my vision started to get a little dim, and then my hearing started to become a little deaf, a little bit faint, but I could still hear. I almost became unconscious. I almost started to become unconscious. So what happened is that after that, I stood up, and then after that, I fell on the ground again. And like I was there, and then the guy was like saying, "If you don't stand up, I'm calling the ambulance." So probably I was on the ground, and the other guy went to Walmart, and if he comes back, then he'll call the ambulance. And the other guy, I had to leave, so because he saw me that I'm recovering, so it's good news. But then after 4 minutes, I was able to stand up, and then I was able to like stand up, and I started regaining my consciousness. I picked up my stuff. I was struggling to actually crouch down. And then after that, I picked up my bag, and I picked up my jacket. I decided not to use my bike, and along with that, I started to Snapchat what happened. Here it is. I don't know, it's a little dim, but I'd be like, I almost died and lost my consciousness. Then I decided to use the bike as like an assistance, or like a cane, let's say, or one of those injury crutches that you have, or one of those, I don't know what those called, where you have these wheels and you put your body weight on this little thing. So I use it as that, and then I decided to put my bag on the bicycle itself, and along with that, and then suddenly I met this kid who's also walking home from school. So he's in grade 9, and I met him up, and he was a nice guy. So I decided to walk with him. He really helped me out, and I was very thankful for it. So so he carried my stuff, and he also lives in the same neighborhood as me. So he carried my bag, my jacket, while I was holding my bike, and we decided to chitter chatter and talk about what's going on, how's school and everything. He was a nice kid, and I enjoyed my time with him. He provided me companionship while I was going home. I decided to talk about it and yeah, and everything. He was a nice kid. So then I came to a point where he decided to walk the other way, and hopefully the pain has subsided even more. So I took back my stuff, and it took me an additional 10 minutes and reached my home. Then my mom called along the way, and I'd be like, "Hey mom, I almost died. I almost lost my consciousness." And my mom was, she was like that. So, and I decided to tell the details and everything. She was so worried about me. So she said, "Looks like I gotta go home early. So I gotta bring you to the hospital. Just to make sure that there's no internal bleeding, because in 3 days you could possibly die. So you actually really need it." So then we started to chitter chatter, and then after that we actually went home. And then I waited for a bit, I started to like just relax for a bit until my mom comes home, and then my mom actually brought me to this she brought me to this clinic, not the hospital but the clinic, hoping for an X-ray. But then luckily when it went there to the clinic, the nurses and the doctors were like, "Everything's fine. It looks like there's no fracture or any other internal bleeding." But yeah, at least that happened. But the thing is, I got some several wounds. I got a minor wound over here, and I got a huge one over here. This used to be like, I'll show you over here. I'll pull it up. Here you go. So I decided to put this around because it was like bleeding. Trust me. So then it was like this. So it's now luckily it's healing. So now I decided to put on a regular band-aid. So it looked like this now. Like it was like pure red. It was pure red. And even despite I was wearing long sleeves, since I was wearing my school uniform, nothing was damaged. And then after that, when my mom saw what happened, she was like, "Oh, your uniform is actually really strong. This actually has good material." At least I realized that. But anyways, but then I went home again, and luckily everything was all right. My bones are intact, and my mom told me that what actually happened where I almost lose my consciousness is actually I had a minor concussion, or yeah, something like that, like a concussion. So actually, here's the deadly part. So like, I was like, when I fell down on the bike, I was traveling really fast, like almost 10 meters a second, and then I was like, luckily it was like the first thing that hit was my tailbone, but it went into my head, and it was on hard pavement. I could have, it was like boom. If that happened, I could literally like get decapitated, or I could actually die, and I could be like, a dead person lying around on the side of the road. I decided to bike home at school late because I had to go to my tutorial class since I have a test tomorrow. So I came home later than everyone did. So it was, the whole street was just some cars floating around, but the sidewalks were empty. So if that happened, well, like along with the dismissal bell actually went, then everyone would be like crowding around and be like, "You good? You good? You good? You good? You good?" But I decided to go home late. But so that didn't happen. At least 2 men pulled over. So I would imagine if that actually hit my head, then, and I told you, I would be a dead person lying around the side of the road. And since there's a lot of my stuff lying around the whole place, since I was carrying a lot of stuff, so for sure people will pull over and be like, I'm gonna call 911 saying, I just found a dead body. I just found a dead body that's lying in the side of Williams Parkway. So at least that never happened. I hope not. I hope this will never happen. And you too, whoever's watching this, I'm gonna tell you some advice. Do not speed so fast beyond your means, and do not carry much weight when you want to bicycle home. And usually when I bike, I have this bad habit of using one handle when I bike. Probably it's not safe. So next time I'm gonna wear a helmet next time. I'm gonna tell you guys, be safe, everyone, be safe. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this, guys, and I hope you got some advice from me. And anyways, I hope you subscribe. I hope you follow up, and see you then.